Very interesting. Let's go to the heroes. Jesus, I have so far to go. Base health increased from 0.5 to 1. Shard upgrade now also reduces Mist Coil and Aphotic Shield cooldowns by 1. Jesus! I already like that shard. That's nice. Mist Coil backscreen improved. Heal damage from 120 to 255 to 110 to 260. Okay. Self damage is now 50% of the value instead of fixed numbers. Backswing reduced. Wow. Seems like Abaddon is just getting nicer to play. Like backswing reductions are nice. And the mana cost is increased. Scepter duration increased as well. Mist coil damage heal. Okay. Wow. Big buffs to Abaddon overall. Really big. And particularly the gameplay that I played Abaddon recently was Shard and like AoE coil builds. You can do some interesting stuff with that. Gold bonus cap reduced from 18 to 27 to 15 to 24. Substantial nerf to Alchemist. Ice Vortex mana cost is a lot lower. Cooldown is now scaling. Nice. Nice for AA. Scepter now reduces mana cost by 50% on Chilling Touch. Oh shit! Mid Ancient Apparition is probably viable with that change. I think it's straight up just viable with that. 50% mana cost reduction on that means you can actually get away with not having too much mana. Huh, I'm gonna have to play mid AA again. We worked the Shard upgrade, now causes Blink to have plus 300 range and reduces cooldown by 2. What? Okay, that's a very carry related one. I assume that they're changing his talent then? Yep, they are. So mana cost rescaled, more mana costs on level 3, less on level 1. Fragment Scepter Illusion incoming damage reduced to 200% and outgoing damage increased. Okay, so the Fragment Scepter thing is stronger. And plus 0.6% mana burn instead of Blink Talent. So yeah, okay, this is probably a net nerf to Anti-Mage, because getting the Blink range on 15 is pretty powerful, and you don't really want to buy a Shard as soon as possible because you want your gold to go towards Manta and Abyssal, stuff like that. So it's a net nerf, but if you are gear capped, then you're obviously stronger now than you were before. So interesting. And yeah, there's the +1 mana void stun duration. I mean, interesting. Shard magic resistance increased to 40%. Shard now also slows the enemy by 20%. Okay. And Flux cast range is nerfed and HP is buffed. The Shard is getting a lot better for Arc Warden. Okay, kind of interesting. Attack point is reduced for X. Scepter upgrade cooldown reduction increased from 2 to 3. Okay. Chardonna also increases the proc chance by 10% on the counter helix. Nice Shard. Okay, let's see. Bane reworked the Shard upgrade, causes Brain Sap to become a 550 target AoE spell. Secondary units heal for 25%. What? What? So he can just get a lot of HP. Because you can still do the Shard or no? Or the Scepter? Reduces Fiend Script cooldown by 45 seconds and causes Fiend Script to create 2 uncontrollable illusions that channel Fiend Script on the target. Oh, so it doesn't have the same thing anymore. Jesus, that has a very low cooldown on the ulti, and it makes 2 illusions that channel Fiend Script. That sounds really annoying to cancel. Sounds really annoying. Brain Sap is improved a lot. Attack damage reduction. Jesus, and feeble changes. A lot stronger level 1. A lot better level 1. Longer cooldown level 1. Less cast range, and duration is 8 and scales up to 11. That's pretty long cooldown. Or long duration. Brain Sap CDR is there, and Fiend Script max mana drain. The Aghanim seems very strong for support Bane now. Very, very strong. If you can get that Aghanims, I think you just non-stop kill people. Reworked Shard now causes Flame Break to have 2 charges and applies stick and Napalm charge on impact. Flame Break, Backswing. So many Backswing changes in this patch. Range is reduced. Debuff no longer stacks multiple instances but adds to the duration. So you can't just pop 2 immediately. Same with Backswing. Damage increase. He has a magic resistant talent. Yuck. Yuck, yuck. Base armor is increased on Beastmaster. Dive Bomb no longer grants free Hawk control. Dive Bomb now is 1200 cast range. The stun duration is 2 seconds. Damage is increased and it can now target couriers? No! 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 My courier will not be dive bombed by a fucking Hawk. No! Hawk Shard now also lowers the cooldown by 15 seconds. Oh no, 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 no. Fucking, oh god, no, no, no. Scepter now also increases damage by 40. Mana cost is reduced as well. Pretty big. Movement speed duration increased on the roar. Damage increased. Ooh, he has an HP on his controlled units on the level 15 talent. Jesus! I mean, Necrobook doesn't exist anymore. But still, 300 HP increase. Those Hawks are not gonna die. Like, you're gonna have to hit them so much to kill those Hawks. Like, yeah, going Helm of Dominator level 2, Helm of the Overlord, you know? You go Helm of the Overlord on Beastmaster with plus 300 HP talent, and you just have the Giga Ancients coming at the enemy. And then you have Hawks just killing couriers and shit. Okay. He has a minus cooldown for the Roar on level 20. Big one. He also has the Axis damage talent along with the Axis getting more damage by Aghanims. Okay. And then he has the Wild Axis build here. Interesting. Seems kind of buffed overall, but I mean, Necrobook was removed, so that's a big nerf. Backswing change. Now deals 10% of a target's current health as damage on cast. Oh, nice. Damage reduced from 36%, 48%, 60%, 33, 44, 55. I mean, that's still a lot stronger. It's basically a lot stronger still. Rupture buffed overall. And minor changes. Reworked the Shard for Bounty Hunter. Oh, I'm excited. I hated that Shard. Shadow Walk now grants you 40% reduced incoming damage while invisible. Attacking out of invisibility. Stuns for 1 second. Lowers the cooldown by 5 seconds. You can already have your Windwalk up and have Windwalk ready. And you stun for 1 second when you come out of your Windwalk. And this lowers the cooldown by 5 seconds on top of that. You can now just fucking stun people a bunch. Slow no longer pierce the spell meter. Dude. Jesus. 40% damage reduction when going invis as well is a lot. You just press invis, you have 40% damage reduction. Oh, that is a good shard. That is a good shard, actually. Okay. A little bit faster Brewmaster. Passive evasion is increased. A lot better on low levels. Split time reduced. The health is increased overall, especially on high levels. Same with all of these. The shard cooldown for the Astral Pulse is a lot lower. And the shard cast point, okay, whatever. Thunderclap slow into Thunderclap AoE. Oh, 200 more AoE on Thunderclap is a lot better than more slow. A lot better. That's a huge Thunderclap. Okay, this part right here is scary. Everything else is fuck all. But this part right here, that's a scary talent. You gotta watch out for Brewmaster picking this talent, I think. Some mana regen for the boy Bristleback. Base quill damage is increased. And stack damage is reduced. Okay. But very, very little reduction. Armor loss per stack increased. Scepter removes cast time. Nothing really exciting for Bristleback, but you know, some minor changes. I don't know, minor buffs. Agi increased for Broodmother. Incapacitating Bite has been removed. Oh boy. Spawn Spiderling debuff duration increased from 5 to 20. Spawn Spiderling debuff stacks. Multiple instances of spiders will come out. What do you mean, multiple instances of spiders? Rework the Shard. Now causes Silken Bola to be a 550 AoE spell. Then increases the miss rate to 80%. Okay. Spin Web. Counts charges. Okay, so she has 3 webs on level 1. She is slower now, and the webs replenish faster. But she's basically the same movement speed on highest level, and she has more webs. So it's a buff on highest level. Insatiable Hunger is now a basic ability. Oh god, what's happening here? Mana cost is reduced a lot. Damage is reduced a lot, of course, because it's no longer an ulti. Still 100% lifesteal and 50 damage increase with a 25 CDR instead of 45. And duration from 14 to 8 to 14, okay. Spawn Spiderlings is now an ultimate ability. Cooldown is rescaled from 11, 10, 9, 8 to 9, 8, 7. Damage is increased from 70, 100, blah, 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 to 300, 370, and 440. Spawn count rescaled from 1, 2, 3, 4 to 3, 4, 5. Cast range is increased. Okay, so the cooldown is 7 seconds. And it's 20 seconds duration debuff on it. So you can spit multiple times on someone and multiple instances of spiders will come out. It's a 440 damage nuke on highest level. So if you spit on someone once, and you spit on him again, and you spit on him again, 15 spiders are gonna come out of that boy. If you nuke them 3 times, 15 spiders come out. Yes, she has no spiders in lane, but she now has Agi increase, and she has Insatiable Hunger for laning stage. And the Spin Web is also buffed since you have 3 webs in the early game. And Silken Bola is now a basic ability and no longer root. Slows enemy by 25, 35, 45, 55% for 6 seconds. Now causes enemy to miss 40% of attacks. Deals 100, 120, 140, or 160 impact damage. Yeah, so she has an AoE ability that she can farm with, right? Because Silken Bola is AoE now. Oh no, it's not AoE until you... Yeah, when you get the Shard, it becomes AoE. Okay. So until then, it's not AoE. Causes attacks on target to deal +5, +6, +7, +8 magical damage per hit. This kind of throwback to old Broodmother with her, you know, old damage build on Incapacitating Bite long ago. It has mana cost and it has cooldown. Cast range is 750. Okay, Broodmother is going to be very different. Very, very different now. She doesn't flash farm in the same way, but she seems a bit more, you know, fight for herself and standing up in the laning stage, not just playing away from the enemy, more like contesting and fighting. So it'll be interesting to see how it works. Hoof Stomp AoE is increased, double cast point increased, Shard slow increased, Shard buff duration is increased. More return damage. Cooldown Stampede is reduced by a lot, 20 seconds level 1. Damage is reduced though on level 1. And Scepter now also increased duration by 1 second. He has an armor talent. It's kind of big, more HP as well. Okay, nothing too exciting about Centaur. Chaos Bolt backswing is changed. Shard Illusion now always lasts 6 seconds rather than the duration of the stun. Nice buff. Instead of CDR, he has a cleave talent. On CK? Duration talent is changed to stun duration, and then the stun duration is changed to the phantasm duration. This is overall CK nerfs. I mean, yeah, you have cleave, I guess, but I would say this is overall nerfs to CK, the way I see it. Yeah, you can do some different stuff with this, like farming Ancients is gonna be a lot faster, but you also can't abuse your ulti and go Aghanim's build the way I've been doing a lot. So, yeah. Chen, nobody plays Chen. Let's just go on. I'm kidding, Snith. I'm kidding. Base mana radiant is increased. Heal is increased a little bit again, so he heals even more. Shard mana cost is reduced. Cast range increased. And less cooldown. Sure, sure. Penitence deals 250 damage on level 10. Okay. That's pretty big. That's actually pretty big. That's better than cast range for sure. The HP minimum health is up to 1200. And Hand of God cooldown is buffed a lot as well. That's some Chen buffs, you know, for Snith. For Snith and, you know, the 9 other Chen players in the world. Strength is increased, but we're scaling on Clinks. Mana cost is increased on the Strafe. Shard skeleton duration is reduced by a lot, 15 seconds. Burning Army spawn interval is a lot improved, or improved by a lot, I should say. Cooldown is also reduced. Searing Arrow, not too exciting. Some buffs, but 15 seconds less duration on the Shard is kind of sad. Shard Jetpack movement speed bonus reduced. Cooldown is reduced as well by 4 seconds. So it's pretty low cooldown. More armor, more movement speed. Okay. CM, rework the Shard. Now allows you to move, cast, and attack during freezing field. What? Your movement speed is reduced by 75% during this, and the freezing field follows your movement. Interruptions and silences will still interrupt the spell. Huh. So you can buy the Shard and you can move around at 75 movement speed. Can you blink? You can cast, it says. So I guess you can blink around them? Huh. So what if I blink and BKB going with Shard? Force Staffs? You can blink and Force Staff and it's great. That sounds kind of nice. And you can attack. You can just stand there and fucking slap someone and be like, get off me. Okay, that's kind of cool. And more AoE on Crystal Nova. That's pretty nice talent. I like it. Her cast range talent kind of sucked anyway. Damage interval is increased on this. Damage is increased as well. Mana cost is increased as well. Max health is reduced. Backswing changes. Shard max distance required for the punch is 900 now, a lot less. Shard illusion outgoing damage is increased from 40 to 80%. Can we pause for a second here? This illusion went from doing 25% damage to 80% damage. Okay? It used to do 25% damage. Now it does 80% damage. The Shard used to be a complete meme. Now I want to say Darkseer Shard is actually good with these changes. Now I would say it's actually good. Because it's less distance required, it's doubled in damage, and it takes, you know, 50% less damage. So that's pretty good. Or I guess 100% less damage, however you want to say it, you know. Okay, so he gets armor early on, then he gets AoE later on, and then he gets World of Replica cooldown. Ooh, that's a big one too. Darkseer are pretty big buffs. Willow cooldown reduction. Shadow Realm a little bit better in laning stage. Bramble Mace. More damage on the maximum. Cast range still pretty damn good. Just lowered a little bit by 100. Cast range reduced on this too. Shard also reduces the delay by 1 second. Oh, that's a nice improvement for Shard. It's faster. That's gotta fuck with people. That's gotta fuck with people a lot. Cursed Crown AoE increase. Okay. Turn rate, whatever. Reworked Shard upgrade now causes poison touch to hex affected. Jesus, dude, they keep changing Dazzle, dude. It causes poison touch to hex affected targets for 1.25 seconds. Poison touch now does its first damage of instance immediately on impact, so you can't blink away as easily. Hexing, dude. He has very low cooldown on poison touch, especially if you go for some CDR build, and you hex people with that. Sounds terrifying. Sounds terrifying, dude. And that also gives him a TP cancel. It gives him, you know, ways to disable people. You can stop black holes and whatever, you know, if they don't have BKB. That is pretty scary. It sounds terrifying. Scepter heal increased and scepter damage increased on the Shadow Wave. Okay. Cast time is improved on the Grave as well, so no excuse if you don't grave me in time. Dazzle pickers in my pubs, I will report you if you don't grave me. You have no reason not to grave me now. Cooldown is also improved. And 250 heal on Shallow Grave End. What a talent. What a talent, actually. That is not a bad talent. That is super good. Healing on the end of Shallow Grave is so good. Wow, really big buffs to the Dazzle, I would say. Attack point is reduced. Base damage is reduced by quite a bit, so she's a bit weaker. Her movement speed is down by 15. Reworked Shard increases Spirit Siphon charges by 1 and causes enemies to be feared for 2 seconds if they're siphoned 4 seconds consecutively. Okay. I mean, 4 seconds is quite a long time, but getting feared for 2 seconds means that it means that you're gonna keep running away and keep getting sucked more, and then, you know, you might keep getting feared. Scary. Quite literally scary. Crypt Swarm backswing improved. Movement speed percentage talent. Okay. Thank you, Stock Duck. And Crypt Swarm cooldown. Oh my god, they lowered the Crypt Swarm cooldown even more? I was already spamming Crypt Swarm so hard when I played her. Okay. She's still probably pretty good then, even with the movement speed reduction. Shard radius is increased again. Shard now always increases the radius rather than only on allies. Shard allied bonus duration is increased from 1 to 1.25 seconds. Glimpse cooldown reduction. Wow, level 1 glimpse is a lot better than it used to be. Static storm duration talent is improved. Glimpse arrival damage. What? You get a fucking 275 damage talent on that, on Glimpse? Okay, so they can't blink after your Glimpse. Because a lot of people would just, you know, time their blink really good to when you get glimpsed, but now you can't blink. That is scary. Kinetic field grants true sight to kinetic field duration, and then glimpse cooldown is increased, and kinetic field duration to 275. Static storm AoE, huge storm. Oh god, that storm. Oh goodness. Oh, scary, my lord. Jesus, what the fuck is that? That is scary. It looks like a small number here, but believe me, like this is terrifying. Base armor increased by 3 on Doom. Okay, well, cue the memes. Base attack time increased. Damage increased. Nice. No longer provides... I take offense to this. It's not damage increased. This is damage rescaled. Alright? I can no longer do a 70 damage hit. That means that this is rescaled. Alright? Then I feel offended that they call it increased. Devour no longer provides health regen. Backswing is improved. That's on like everything in the game. Gold bonus increased from 50 to 200 to 60 to 240. Okay. Backswing fixed. Scepter no longer reduces the cooldown. Scepter now also increased the doom duration by 6 seconds. 6 seconds? Woo! Yeah, that sounds good. Doom duration talent is gone from here as magic resistance instead. The movement speed is now scorched earth damage. Scorched earth damage is now cooldown, and the Devour gold bonus is now Devour can target ancients. Devour can target ancients is now scorched earth movement speed. A big rescuffling there. I mean, the Devour gold increase is pretty big. 40 more gold per level 4 Devour is pretty substantial. That's 1 lane creep right there. Shard can now be used in melee form. Has 600 cast range when used that way compared to 1400 in dragon form. Oh, nice. The Shard is a little bit more relevant. I mean, yeah, the base 3 armor is the biggest change here by far. 3 more armor for Doom is like, he is a tank now. Doom is a lot stronger now than he used to be. 3 armor is like, you can meme all you want, but 3 armor is massive on a hero with that much HP. Let's see Davian, the hero. So you can now fireball people. Mana cost reduced on the Dragon Tail. Cooldown is reduced, or cooldown is increased rather. Okay. Damage increased from 50 to 70 on level 1 and goes up to 160. Thank you, Alpha Dude. Breathe Fire damage reduction is bigger. You have a damage talent instead of mana regen talents. Kind of nice. Dragon Tail stun duration is now on the 15 talent. You have the CDR talent changing to Elder Dragon form attack range increase. Then you have your Dragon Blood change to plus 12 Dragon Blood armor and regen. Okay. Very nice. And then you have Dragon Tail duration to plus 375 AoE Dragon... What? AoE Dragon Tailing? Okay. To be fair, he does no longer have the CDR talent, so I don't think he can do the perma-stun build that I used to do. I mean, you probably can with the Arcane Blink, you can at least stun for a while, but you used to be able to perma-stun with certain conditions. All you kind of needed was a Spell Prism, and Octarine, and you know, that was basically it and the talents. But this is still good. I mean, AoE stun on this. I mean, that's a huge stun. Never mind perma-stunning people, this is just very, very good in team fights. Yeah, that sounds really good to follow up on like a Chronosphere or something, or setting up for a Chronosphere to be, you know. Not that Void has been a relevant hero, but who knows? We'll get to him. Attack point is reduced. Shard burst slow increase from 25 to 40. Shard now affects creeps. Yeah, I found that weird. I didn't before. I like first time I read it, I thought that it would affect creeps, but it only worked on heroes. Okay, that's a big buff to the Shard. A huge buff to the Shard, actually. Mana cost reduction, or mana cost reduced. Okay, multi-shot cooldown. Nothing too exciting. Our Spirit has a wall of texts. The slow is reduced on this thing. Remnant pull speed is reduced. Vision is reduced on the remnants. Scepter damage is increased. Scepter radius is increased. Distance is reduced on both the stone distance and ordinary roll. Damage is increased, actually. You get some more damage. More damage talents, more armor talents, and more spell amp talents. Interesting. So like his basic abilities are a bit nerfed, but his talents are quite a bit better. Also has more damage on roll, which I guess is nice. Ancient Totem no longer has True Strike, no longer gets consumed if the attack misses. Scepter leap range has been reduced again. Scepter now also provides 40% cleave. What? He now cleaves? Oh, the carry shaker. Oh yeah, I look forward to the fucking Morphlings coming in, cleaving me to death as well. Because anytime you buff the Enchant Totem in any way, shape, or form, you're not really buffing Shaker. You're buffing Morphling. All you're doing is making Morphling do these things. You're now gonna have a Morphling, you know, smurfing even though it's illegal, coming into your pub, targeting his friend who is probably a Herald player, but he picked Shaker, so he did his part of the work, you know? And then when Morphling is ready, he's going to fucking lube you up and jump in with this shit, and he's gonna cleave you and your team to death. Yeah, it sounds fun. I mean, sure, why not get fucking crit cleaved for 3,000 damage by a Morphling? Alright, hopefully Morphling is just removed. By the time we get to Morphling, I hope it just says he's removed. Cooldown increased on Earth Splitter. Delay is improved by a bit, but I mean, it's also not improved because it was, you know, it was Pi. But now it's not. And then mana costs is increased. Okay. Replaced Morph with the water runes. Oh, that's how we got the water runes. We took Crayon's hero and just, you know, made a little water runes. Nice. Backswing fixes. Duration is increased on the Flame Guard on low levels. Shard now provides you with a charge when killing enemy heroes rather than spawning a Fire Remnant, except in the case... provides you with a charge. Okay. Except in the case where you die. So if you die, you spawn a Remnant. But otherwise, you get a Remnant charge, and then you can throw it. So it is a buff. It's just not automatic. You just gotta make sure that you use it. Now, that's a really good buff, actually. Cast range is reduced. Scepter cast range is reduced as well. I mean, the Shard is a lot better now, because you can control where you want to go. Attack speed slow is increased, so more untouchable. Wisp count is rescaled to just have more wisps, and they heal for less. Sure. More duration. Cooldown increased on demonic conversion. Oh yes, dude. Oh yes, safe laning against Enigma does not sound as annoying anymore. Thank God. Thank God. He's so annoying to lane against. Midnight Pulse radius. Huh, okay. More Midnight Pulse radius. Phases Void. This guy has been struggling. He's been one of the worst heroes of the patch. Let's see what Icefork has in store for him. Base armor increased by 1. Now does a 10, 11, 12, 13 DPS per cooldown. Oh. Hello, Invoker. Did you cast some spells? Time dilation. Okay, that sounds scary. Sounds scary for Invoker. Cooldown reduced from 40 to 22 to 28 to 16. Duration is reduced from 14 to 11, but same on all levels. Cooldown slow reduced from 75 to 60%. Mana cost is increased. Okay. So it's basically, yeah, it's like a silencer curse, kinda. So if you're against, you know, Phases Void and Silencer, then you get real fucked. Time lock damage increased from 10 to 25 to 15 to 30. Backswing, whatever. Radius increased by 50 is kind of nice. Cast range is reduced though. So he's actually worse at catching people now, but he does have bigger AoE. Cast range is reduced on the time walk. Shard is increasing it by 200 more. Okay. Shard return ability is now on its own hotkey. Okay. I mean, I guess, yeah, that's true, actually. I talked about this. I talked about it before, how if you had proper conditions, you could have so much CDR that your return ability would actually block up that you could have jumped, basically. Like, you could actually have so much CDR that you could have a new time arc ready, but you still had to jump back if you pressed it again. So it was kind of dumb. So it makes sense that he gets a new cooldown or a new hotkey. And also people are gonna, you know, have less reason to fuck up. And then his talent's buffed a little bit. He gets agility instead of damage, which is nice. He gets HP talent on level 15. Okay, that's pretty big. 300 HP is a lot better than the cast range. That's the biggest part about the buffs here to Phases Void. And then he gets Time Walk. Pretty small buffs though, I would say overall. Sure, he got 1 more armor. I mean, the 1 more armor combined with 300 HP talent on 15, but 15 is so late into the game already. Yeah, okay. Reworked Shard upgrade causes Inkswell to deal 50% more damage and heal the target for 50% of the damage that the Inkswell deals. Upon expiration, the target will also receive a strong dispel. What? Oh my god. Now that is a fucking shard. Vanilla, get on your fucking stroking. It's time to do the Grimstroke again. I mean, now that's a shard right there. That is a shard. Fuck the old one. This one is so good. It's a huge heal. It also, like, does 50% more damage. It already did a lot of damage. Now it does more. And you get a strong dispel. So even if you try to stun the guy who's suiciding in, he's gonna get unstunned. This is very nice. Phantom's Embrace damage per second is increased from 6 to 10 on level 1. 40 on level 4 though, kind of nice. And the latch duration or latch radius is bigger on the Soulbind, so easier to catch 2 heroes. Inkswell cooldown reduction is also improved, and the cast range is now plus 50. Phantom Embrace, holy shit, 90 DPS on the Phantom's Embrace. I mean, that's actually not too bad, since you can put down both the targets who get bound as well. And it's a level 10 talent, so you get it really early. I mean, yeah, cast range is nice, but I mean, that's a lot of damage. That actually sounds pretty good. You could max your stroke and your E, and then you're gonna have like a 4-1-4-1 build. And on level 11, you know, or level 10 if you just don't max out fully, you could have a 56, or no, not 56. Yeah, you can have a 60 DPS already with a level 1 Phantom's Embrace. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, Flak Cannon attacks increased. Cooldown is increased as well. Wow, that's not very exciting, but kind of good for Gyro still though. One more attack is pretty big for him, but pretty boring change. Oh, here we go. Jesus, it's an entire page and then some. Added Aghanim's Scepter grants a new active ability. Hunter's Boomerang tosses a boomerang in an arc at the target enemy. Upon contact, it returns to Hoodwink. The boomerang will deal 350 damage as it passes through or hits enemies, and apply a Hunter's Mark that causes the affected enemies to be slowed by 20% and take 25% more spell damage and have 25% reduced status resistance for 7 seconds. Cooldown 18 seconds, mana cost 125. That sounds very good. 350 damage nuke on an 18-second cooldown, 125 mana cost. That also has some fantastic synergy with your other abilities, like more slow, more status resistance, which will make you slow and fuck them even more. I guess it's a skill shot by the sounds of it, because it tosses it in an arc at an enemy. Sounds interesting. Added Aghanim's Shard grants a new ability, Decoy. Hoodwink sends a decoy illusion with Scurry to the target location. When the illusion is attacked or hit by a targeted ability, it is destroyed and plants a tree in its place that applies a lesser bushwhack to the enemy heroes around it. The illusion lasts for 12 seconds, cooldown is 60 seconds, and mana cost 50. So she basically is some Naruto ninja. Oh, it is a target ability. Okay, so the Aghanim's is actually a target ability. It's the point and click, not a skill shot. Okay. Sounds very strong then. Sounds really good. The Aghanim's sounds very strong, and the Shard sounds, it can be really annoying. Because Hoodwink like runs around in the tree lines, and now she can use the decoy, and you're gonna be like, there she is, get her! And then you get fucking bushwhacked. Yeah, that sounds annoying. Boss damage is reworked from 100% to plus 20, 40, 60, 80 to 65%, plus 50, 75, 100, and 125. Nerf to the carry aspect, and buff to the support aspect. Initial projectile now uses the attacker's projectile speed, half for bounces. Planted trees no longer considered special for tango usage. Nice, so that you don't give enemies good tangos. I mean, yeah, you could kind of use it so that you got a tango for yourself, but more often than not, the enemy would get it if they paid attention. May not be placed on auto casts to always use ground targeting. Okay, so if you click it on an enemy hero, I guess you can't click it on an enemy hero. You're just gonna click it under an enemy hero at that point. But yeah, okay. But then it's not automatically gonna hit that enemy hero. It might bounce to something else first. Yeah, I don't think I would use that. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's kind of nice for bushwhack, but I would still probably just trust my ability to click next to the enemy more than that. It's good for a bushwhack, but you might miss your first hit of the acorn shot. So if you use the ground targeting thing and there are multiple targets around and the target you're shooting has a blink dagger, now you're shooting it on the ground and it bounces off to someone else. But yeah, sure. I can see the appeal to it. I personally would not use it though. Radius is decreased, damage is decreased, stun duration is increased. Yep. Fixed units dying during bushwhack, sometimes destroying the trees and freeing other units from bushwhack. Active speed is reduced, slower, and charge replenish time is faster. Max damage is reduced a bit on the sharpshooter. Minimum power level of 20% and scales normally from there. Okay, so you can like insta-pop it for at least some damage. Mana cost is lower on level 1 and higher on lower levels. Or higher on higher levels. Movement speed slow is reduced, but scales up. Max duration reduced as well. No longer grants vision along the sight. Oh, that is a huge nerf. Okay, that is a very, very big nerf, the final part there. Because being able to like, look around was really strong. But sure, fair enough. It's a fair nerf. I mean, she is getting into captain's mode as it is now. This is pretty wild that she is going to be in captain's mode with a completely new Aghanims and Shard. So, competitive games could be interesting to watch right now if some team is going to utilize this. But overall, it sounds like support Hoodwink is getting more emphasis here as well. Huskar strength gain is increased, knockback duration is increased, shard upgrade can now be cast while disabled, does not remove the disable. Cost reduced, okay, so it takes less self damage. And his spell lifesteal, ha, jeez. The Huskar ulti with spell lifesteal. Sounds interesting. Rework the shard upgrade on Invoker causes 2 extra chaos meteors to land alongside the primary cast at slight angles. Reduces cooldown by 15. Okay, so it's no longer the targeted ice wall. Now you have some fucking giga meteor landing. I mean, strange, but yeah. So cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Yep. Region is very nerfed on Quas, but now provides 2 strength per level. Invoker does not have attribute levels, and then damage is also lowered on higher levels on Exort, and provides int per level, agi per level, and ice wall DPS increase. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is what we've been waiting for. Let's see it. Level 25 attack talent now only attacks if Io is capable of attacking, not when stunned or disarmed, etc. Nice. Tether cast range reduced from 1800 to 1600, no longer unlocks max movement speed. Hell yeah. Shard now stuns upon connecting the tether rather than on tether break. Does not affect the same unit more than once every 7 seconds. I don't think anyone ever uses the tether stun shard. I literally have not seen a single person ever get stunned by the shard because nobody uses the shard. Max distance is reduced on the spirits. Collision damage is reduced by 15, so pretty big nerf. And his damage talent is nerfed. HP talent is increased, or region talent is increased. Spirit's max range is lowered a little bit. The spell lifesteal is increased a little bit. And relocate is better, and health is better. I mean, yeah, he doesn't have more than max movement speed anymore. I still think it's strong. I still think it's broken. The max movement speed thing is huge, but it's not that huge. The nerfs to him, I mean, the Aghanim's Wisp is still gonna slap his fucking balls in your face. They didn't nerf the damage on the Aghanim's effect that much. Sure, it's 15 less collision damage on the base, but the damage talent on the Wisp balls is not touched at all. I still think Wisp is very strong. Yeah, can't attack if disabled. I mean, yeah, that has an impact, but most of the time, by the time when Wisp is level 25, the game is long over anyway. Most of the time, you get fucking rolled by Wisp like minute 25. He's gonna have, you know, Aghanim's, Dominator, a fucking Heart. He probably has an MKB or something, or Daedalus or whatever. You can't farm Aghanims as quickly, so the rolling isn't as severe. It's not that big of a nerf to the farming, but yeah. I mean, he did get nerfed, but it's not, for how strong he is, it was not extremely big nerfs. Let's see. Agility increased on the Jakiro by 5. Delay between the waves is reduced. Shard now also stuns the target for 0.4 seconds. Nice. Slow is reduced. Scepter no longer increased damage from 100, blah, blah. Okay. Scepter now causes it to become pure damage and pierce spell immunity. Cool. Liquid Fire attack speed talent instead of Ice Path. Dual Breath becomes HP. The attack speed talent is now the Ice Path, and Dual Breath range is now Macro Pyre damage on 20. So you could go for an Aghanim's in level 20 Macro Pyre talent. 2 times Dual Breath damage and range. Jesus. Okay. And minus 2.5 Ice Path cooldown. Okay, that's real good. Real good talent too. Now provides spell immunity. Attack rate multiplier reduced from 1.6 to 1.5. Omni Slash provides spell immunity. How many people used spells on you when you were in Omni Slash? I'm trying to think. I don't really understand it. Yeah, I guess it means that it's gonna dispel you, because it's a spell immunity, so I guess if you have something on you, but it already did that, didn't it? You can't be hooked. I think they already fixed that before. You can't silence him. No, I mean, you can global silence someone who's spell immune, though. I don't know, it's very strange. Can't cast buffs on you. How often were you able to cast buffs on your Juggernaut while he was Omni Slashing anyway? Are you out here pressing the attack on your Omni Slashing Juggernaut much? Or Solar Cresting him while he's in Omni Slash? It's very strange. Very strange. Yeah, I guess, like... I guess for... I don't even know, man. It's very strange. I guess certain things might affect you still. Like if the enemy has a Radiance or something, I suppose that might have actually given you a mischance before. Last Brewbender, thank you for the sub, man. Appreciate it. Anyway, that's very strange to me. Mana cost is increased on the Swift Slash. Cast range is reduced. Okay. Base strength is increased on Caller. Rework the shard upgrade. Now grants you recall during Spid form. No longer grants recall. Now causes Illuminate to heal for more of its damage. Or to heal for its damage. 2 Solar Bind charges. Sounds pretty strong. Caster talent was really good though. And minus Chakra Magic cooldown. Chakra Magic dispels. Illuminate damage increase. Okay. The heal is during the night as well. Yeah, so you can heal at all times. It's kind of neat. Base HP regen is increased on Kunkka by a half. Agi gain is increased. Torrent cast range is reduced. Shard now causes affected units to be unable to attack during the pull duration. Shard now starts 900 units behind you instead of 600. So a little bit worse, I would say. Or I guess better for some things. Shard cooldown reduced. I mean, it's better for pulling people into your base, if you want to do that. Cast range, torrent, knock-up, stun duration. Strength talent instead of regen is pretty big. Cleave. Okay, Tidebringer Cleave is now earlier, but you have a CDR talent over here. Yeah, that's probably stronger overall. Such an early time to get the damage increase on your Tidebringer, and then you get -2 CD. Yeah, it's definitely better overall. Okay, Core Kunkka is a little bit stronger now, I would say. Rework to Shard causes press the attack to apply spell immunity for 1.75 seconds, reduces cooldown by 3 seconds. Huh. Support Legion! It's 2B, he's coming back. Radius is increased on overwhelming odds, no longer... Oh, Dual Scepter no longer grants spell immunity. Scepter damage immunity for non-dual participants changed from 100% to 50%. Dual reduces cooldown by... Oh god. 20 seconds CDR on the dual? You can duel a lot. But only 50% damage reduction now. Interesting. But that's a lot of duels. Yeah, the Scepter is now very tempting to go for. Only it's very weird though, 50% damage reduction, because it's like, help me guys, kill him, but all the damage you do is 50% only. You know, it's like, help me burst him, but your Finger of Death is only 50% as effective as it usually is. Yeah, it applies both ways as well, so for the enemy as well. Strange change. Overwhelming odds cooldown to plus 75 overwhelming odds per hero. Holy shit! You can land some big overwhelming odds with this thing. That is pretty strong. Okay. Yeah, AoE spell immunity with the shard with the level 25 as well. It's pretty cool. Cast point increased, radius increased by 50, pretty big. Shard pulse count increased from 2 to 3. Oh god. What? Even more stuns? Okay. Lightning damage, 20 strength, magic resistance. Not too excited. Then again, I don't really like Lesh so much. I mean, the triple stun is kind of scary though. Mana cost reduced on the Frost Blast. Overall, primary target damage reduced from 50. Area damage increased. Okay. More AoE damage. Mana cost increased on the Lich ulti. Only on level 2. 25 more mana cost on level 2. Shard health increased. That Spire, they're making it strong. And bigger. And more slowy. Okay, now the shard is starting to look sexy. Big news, you can give creeps BKB with the Legion shard. Yeah, I imagine as such. I imagine that. It's kind of neat. Frost Blast, radius and damage. Pretty good talent. Frost shield damage reduction, okay. Base damage reduced on Lifestealer. Now does percentage of, okay. Max health is damage. Open wound shards now also casts all hero attacks on the target to deal 2% of a target's max health as damage. Cooldown is reduced. Scepter duration increased. Cooldown reduced. Movement speeds, health. Pretty uninteresting changes overall, I feel. I mean, yeah, they're trying to make the shard and Aghanims happen, but I don't know if we're going to see it too much. But the shard is interesting in one way, is that everybody can do more damage to them. So the shard is more interesting, I feel. Could see that. Damage increased on Lina. Shard now removes the delay before damage is dealt. Shard bonus cast range is increased as well. Jesus, Laguna Blade is getting good. Dragon Slave cooldown. The Guna Blade cooldown talent. Okay. Rework the shard upgrade. Causes mana drain to affect up to 3 enemies. You gain spell immune while channeling. Oh, okay. Okay, now that's... What? The BKB sucker. This went from one of the worst shards in the game to now he can suck people without them being able to stop him. 3 at once even. That's a cheap BKB there. And you can suck for a long duration. It doesn't even matter if they are done. You can keep sucking. And has a very low cooldown. They did increase the cooldown a little bit. It's 6 seconds instead of 4. But it's a very low cooldown BKB available for you. Don't it just kill you? I mean, sure, but a lot harder to just kill you than if you didn't have BKB. I mean, you have to understand, this is mana draining 3 people while being spell immune. And, like, the difference is, if you try to mana drain them without being spell immune, I mean, they could just kill you then too, but now it's much harder to kill you. Why 3 people? Because its mana drain affects up to 3 enemies. Break distance is reduced. Mana drain slow talent is gone to movement speeds. Plus 70 max health per... What? What? What is this? Nani? He gets health for killing enemies. And then he has a BKB built in. Yo, we can build a thick fucking lion. I mean, I was about to say Pudge, but he's basically Pudge. What the fuck? Plus 2 mana drain multi-targets to mana drain restores allies. Oh, if I suck my ally, do I get BKB? I'm immune while channeling. It doesn't say it has to be an enemy. So if I suck my Crystal Maiden, I get BKB? Oh my god, that's perfect. That's perfect, man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a thick lion. It's gonna have to happen. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. We gotta get through this. Range-based damage, base attack time improved. Chardonna also applies a basic dispel to on the bear. Chardonna also causes the roar to happen in both locations, regardless of the state. Okay. Cast point is worse on the... Wait, reduced on the eclipse. Okay, nice. Shard no longer increases stun duration, no longer gives you movement speed. Shard now releases an attack at up to 2 random targets within 500 radius from the target location. These attacks bounce like glaives normally do, or lowers mana cost by 50. The fuck? Releases an attack? Okay, so they're bringing back more carry Luna again. They also don't have the cast range talent, which was huge. So yeah, more carry Luna. Kind of cool though, releasing attacks with your Lucent Beam. Yeah, support Luna massively nerfed. Agi gain increased. Mana cost reduced on the wolves. Bonus damage is increased a bit on the impulse. Transformation time is lower. Movement speed is lower. Duration is 6 seconds longer. Quite a lot. Now increases the health by 150 to 350. Wolfbite now grants shapeshift to the target only rather than the target and its units that it controls. Can target creep heroes like Spirit Bear and Golem. I want to bite the Golem? Why? Okay, sure. I guess it's nice that you can use it on Spirit Bear though. Now you can have a Bear Wolf. That's kind of scary. Shapeshift movement speed to summon Wolf Self. Okay. I mean, Necrobook is gone, which is a huge nerf to Lycan. And then Lycan overall doesn't look stronger. He looks about the same, possibly a bit weaker even. Yeah, Lycan is probably not going to be as big of a worry anymore, but he could have the Helm of the Overlord. But that's a very expensive item. Damage increased on the Empower. Mana costs reduced on the Shockwave. Skewer, damage increased. Speed is decreased. RP, mana cost reduced. Shard landing duration. Oh, you have a lot more time on the Horn Toss now. Half a second more increase. Nice. So, I mean, that kind of makes me want to end with the Shard Toss, though. Or I guess you could do it without RP. You could just blink in and Horn Toss someone and then skewer them away quite easily now. Shockwave slow duration. Skewer cooldown. Okay. I mean, the biggest part is probably this part here. You can bite the Spirit Bear now. Yeah, you can have a Bear Wolf, like I said. Yeah, that's kind of cool. More int gain from Mars. Agi gain is reduced. Damage versus heroes is reduced from 35 to scaling up to 35. Scepter attack slow is increased. And damage reduced on the arena. More movement speed, more armor, and a lot more HP regen on the ulti. Okay. Nothing exciting. More HP regen, less mana, or less int. Passively provides mana. Oh, you get mana from the mana shield. Huh. Okay. That's kind of neat, I guess. Scepter Stone duration rescaled from 1 plus 0.3 to 1.5 plus 0.2. Okay. It's quite a lot better because, you know, just targeting someone with it is pretty neat. And more mana gain on this. Okay. Collision size reduced on the meeples. Shards now allows you to poof to allies within a max range of 2000 when directly targeting them. Wait a second. It doesn't say anything about needing to poof to a meeple. Poof to allies. So 2000 range is not that long, but poof is very low cooldown. You can poof to allies? That could be really strong, actually. That could be really strong. If you get good at using it, it can be incredibly useful. Poof radius increased, damage is reduced. Scepter duration increased from 3.5 to 4. Scepter health restored is increased by a lot. Base damage talent increase. Poof damage talent increased and health damage. Well, Meepo's still shit. Meepo's still shit overall. Base health region reduced on the Wukong or on the monkey. Wukong command soldiers fixed to no longer ignore their attack cooldown when they miss. Ah, yeah. Ground to tree range is reduced. Cast range reduced on boundless. Scepter soldiers no longer attack Roshan. They die when monkey dies. Oh, that is nice. So Aegis on Monkey King is not as crazy anymore, and he can't get Aegis that easily anyway. Nice. Nerf to talent. Primal Spring damage to Boundless Strike cooldown talent. And the armor is changed to 0 cooldown Primal Spring. Boing, boing, boing. Huh. Okay. Sounds like a fast boy. He's just gonna be flying. Intelligence is increased on Morphling. Attribute shift now has 10 mana cost per second to shift. Yes! Yes! We did it! We did it, boys! Fuck Morphling! Oh, we did it, man. Mana cost to shift attributes. Attribute shift interval rescaled from 1 to 25 to 3 to 24. Adaptive Strike mana cost is reduced from 80 to 50 to 80. Adaptive Strike Shard no longer removes the 3-second Shard cooldown. Adaptive Strike Shard increases stun duration by 1 second. Mana cost on the waveform. Stop giving him mana in random places, alright? We just want him to lose mana for using Morph. We don't want him to have cheaper mana for everything else. You don't make him suffer, but then you're like, here, feel good again. Just make him suffer, please. He gets Magic Resistance talent, which is very strong on Morph. Magic Resistance is crazy good on Morph. Waveform range is a little bit nerfed. He gets Agi instead of attack speed, which is also good for Morph. And CDR is changed to Strength. And then plus 30 Strength to Attribute Shift while stunned. Oh boy. Oh boy. We laughed too soon. Oh no. Oh no, we're sweating. How do we kill the morph, guys? Shit. Fuck. Well, just fuck him before he's level 25. That's our game plan. Fuck him before he gets there. And we can always just take his mana, guys, right? If we just take all his mana, he can't do anything. Just EMP him, Diffuse Blade him, do everything you must, burn his fucking mana. Cooldown increased. Cooldown increased from, okay. The net has longer cooldown, blah blah blah. Cast range. Scepter cooldown reduction, minus, okay. Shard no longer has an active. Shard armor reduction from -2 to -4. Shard now also adds 20% slow when it procs. Ooh, ooh, dirty, dirty, dirty. That is dirty. Getting slowed by those fucking procs. Ooh, ooh, that could hurt, man. And minus mirror image cooldown talent. Nice, nice. More illusions. Attack damage rescaled on the trees from 22 to 34 to 18 to 36. Very nice. A little bit weaker in the laning stage. In the early laning stage, cooldown increased on the teleport to 65 on lower level. Wrath of Nature base damage increased from 110 to 115. So 5 more damage per level. Increment is reduced by 1%. And the root duration is increased. Okay. Wrath of Nature base damage increased. Okay. And treants get more damage and HP. Sure, sure. Seems fair. Attack animation reduced. Projectile speed increased. Shard has been reworked, no longer does 50% more damage and heal. Instead, it applies the Crepify on the target, enemy or ally for 2.5 seconds. Against enemies, it reduces the magic resistance by 25%, mana cost 100, and cooldown 14. So you can decrepify the enemy and then ulti them. You basically just bought yourself a Pugna. Okay. Ghost Shroud slow increased by a little bit on low levels. Regen increased. Okay. Regen duration increased. More sustainable. And cast point is better for Reaper Scythe. Okay. Hunter Knight, no longer restricted from player units, cannot affect special units like golems or spirit bears. Shard can now be cast during the day on non-ancient units. Ooh. Shard healing increases from 25 to 35. Jesus, this shard got a lot better. You can use it on enemy units, you can use it during the day, and it heals for 10% more. I already thought this shard might be good, and now it's definitely good. Definitely. Dawnbreaker. He's the Daywalker. More armor and Crippling Fear cooldown talent. That is a good one. Now provides plus 50% attack animation speed, so he doesn't have that slow fucking... Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Support Nyx Assassin struggled a lot. I played mid Nyx Assassin like a million times, and then when I played support Nyx Assassin, I kept fucking up my Vendetta because I expected to have more agi. So my attack was always too slow, but this is gonna help with that. Scepter damage reduction is increased. Impale damage is reduced. Spite Carapace cooldown is increased. Oh, very nice. Shard incoming damage reduction increased from 70 to 85%. Shard mana cost reduced to 50. Cast point is better. Mana cost reduced on Bloodlust. Fire Blast cooldown. Nice. Attack speed, strength. Okay. More base strength for Omni. More movement speed for Omni. More strength bonus for Omni. Okay. Damage rescaled from 50 plus 150 to 60 plus 115. Okay. 115%. Cooldown reduced to 4. Mana cost reduced to 20. Oh boy. A lot more slamming. And more base damage. Okay. Intelligence gain is reduced. Damage rescaled. A lot more damage on high level. Jesus. Shard fade delay is improved. Cast range is plus 15 armor, false promise, on level 15. Ooh. Ooh. Oracle. You dirty. 15 armor. That's pretty damn pog. Better talent there as well. Plus 30% purifying flames to enemy damage. Oh, nice. Instant... What? Minus 1.5 seconds Fortune's End max channel time to instant Fortune's End. Okay. You just get talent to instantly cast it. It's kind of nice. Shard now has a 0.75 cast time instead of 1.5 channel time. Transfers 100% of the health and mana instead of 75%. Cast point increased. Scepter no longer increases the range. Scepter now also increases the damage. Scepter now also causes it to do damage in a 400 AoE. Okay. Kind of going back to almost old OD. Cast range reduced on Swashbuckle. Speed is reduced on the Pango. Duration increased by 2 seconds though. That's pretty big buff. Damage is reduced, but I mean 2 seconds more to roll around. Shield crash, mana cost is reduced, and damage reduction is increased on low level. Mana regen nerfed. Range rescaled. Okay, so better low levels, worse high levels. Shard damage increased. Mana cost is reduced, and impact time now matches the projectile visuals. Yep. Stifling dagger cooldown, and less jump range. Okay. Damage range is rescaled from 52 to 66 to 54 to 64. That's probably nice overall. Easier to last it. Doppelganger has less cast range. Phantom Rush, range is reduced as well. Spirit Lance, sharded damage increased from 30% to 50%. Okay. Spirit Lance cooldown talent is better. Phantom Rush is worse. Juxtapose is better. Okay. Shard has been reworked, now causes Sunray to slow enemies by 12% and be castable during Supernova. Pretty strong. Max health damage reduced. Nice. Cast range reduced. Radius is reduced on the egg. Dive range is reduced, and the Sunray during Supernova talent is changed to stun duration talent. I mean, the shard is very nice. Very nice. Cooldown is increased on the phase shift on low levels. Cooldown increased on the Waning Rift, but still 13 max. Waning Rift silence duration talents. Illusory Orb speed is now cooldown instead, and Waning Rift AoE is nerfed. Cool, cool, cool. Base armor increased on Pudge. Attack range increased on Pudge. Cooldown on the hook is reduced. Shard cast range on allies is a lot higher now. Easier to pick up allies and save them. Scepter radius increased even more, and scepter damage increased even more as well. Nice. Base damage increased on Pugna. Now the blast delay is faster. Shard interval is reduced to 1.5. Oh no, the Kobold trick doesn't work. I never managed to do that anyway. Whatever. So slight buff to the shard. And even stronger ward. Nasty. Her damage is more balanced now. Blink cooldown is rescaled. Oh, level 1 blink is pretty decent. But the range is... the range though. The range. Shard science duration is increased. Scepter bonus increased from 390 to 610 to 420 to 680. Okay. Spell lifesteal improved, and blink cooldown. Oh shit! That's a nice talent. She says blink cooldown now. Yeah, they reduced range a lot, and they reduced movement speeds a lot. They basically lowered mobility in general in Dota. There's been a lot of complaints about mobility being too high, and I kind of agree. So it's kind of nice that they did this. Wow. What was that?
Sir, I showered, drove 30 minutes, did blood donation questionnaire, have needle and arm, and you are still reading patch notes, monkeys.
Yep, it's a big patch. There's a lot of changes. Thank you, Schumacher, for your donation. Appreciate it. Okay, let's see. Static link buff duration reduced from 18 to 15 to 18. Storm Surge shard damage is increased to 120 to 150. More agi and more strength. Very nice. Blink Strike now provides 50% attack animation increase for the attack. Trickster Trade, attack damage reduced a lot. Now increases your agility by 100%. Jesus. So more stat builds now perhaps than raw damage builds could be good for Ricky. Going back towards that. Shard duration increased from 3 to 4 seconds. Shard sleep no longer makes the target invulnerable to damage. They wake up after taking 200 damage. Okay, so that probably also means that you can target them with like hook, which you previously could not. Strength talent instead of region talent, and damage talent to 8% cloak and dagger movement speed while invisible, so you get faster. It's kind of neat. Blink Strike cast range to Blink Strike replenish time. And smoke screen AoE is up by quite a bit. Nice. Shard throw range increased from 60 to 85%. Cooldown reduced from 34 to 28. Okay. Telekinesis landing damage increase. Cast range to telekinesis lift duration. Scepter cast range is reduced. Shard no longer triggers if there are no enemies nearby. Shard radius increased by 75. More health, more caustic finale slow, more HP regen, and +1 epicenter pulse. Okay. Int increase for SD. Shadow poison damage talent on level 10. Now that's interesting. He also has a strength talent. Then he has the Demonic Purge damage talent. By the time you could buy Aghanims as a core SD. Okay. And then you get movement speed. Soul Catcher cooldown. And then the final one is minus 30-second Demonic Purge cooldown. Wow. Aghanims build mid SD is a lot better now than it used to be. A lot better. Base attack time is reduced on the SF. Base armor is increased. Shard has been reworked now. Causes the presence of the Dark Lord to reduce magic resistance by 14%. Soul lost on death reduced by from 50 to 40%. Damn, those SF buffs. And now you have the Shard that gives minus magic resistance. So the ulti is gonna be scary. 100 cast range to 75 Serpent Ward's attack range. Ether shock damage increased. Mana cost reduction. Damage reduced on Arcane Curse. No longer pauses damage when the debuff duration is delayed. Ooh, okay. Arcane Curse a lot better then. A lot better. Because previously it paused the damage when you silenced someone. And now it won't. Shard damage behavior was fixed, was reducing non-glaive's damage to the secondary target too much. Okay. Base damage increased by 2. Reworked Shard upgrade. Every time you cast abilities, you gain 5 intelligence and 1 armor for 30. Hold up. 35 seconds of +1 armor and 5 int. Have you seen my mid Skywrath? Have you seen my cooldown when I play mid Skywrath? Do you remember the drunk stream? When I clicked some abilities? I would have like plus fucking 55 armor or some shit with that. I literally cast so many fucking spells, dude. Okay, stacks independently. Cooldown reduced as well on this, but same on max level. Damage multiplier reduced. Base damage increased. Okay. This is kind of sad nerf. For core Skywrath, it actually has a pretty big impact. You get HP talent, and then less Mystic Flare damage. Jesus, that shard though. That int gain. I mean, the int gain is gonna offset the damage difference here, I feel. So, yeah. It's still pretty big nerf though. Point 2 of your multiplier here is pretty sad. Sprint no longer locks max movement speed, only 25% speed in the river. Shard now applies the debuff before the damage. Ooh, that's a big buff. Shard now also increases the radius by 75. Now there's double damage against creeps. Oh, Bash of the Deep, we can farm better. More HP regen and more HP. Okay. Rework the Shard upgrade grants Depth Shroud. Creates a 300 AoE cloud at the target location for 3 seconds. All allies inside the radius are hidden and have increased regeneration and movement speed. Cast range 800, cooldown 75, mana cost 75. Yo, pause for a second. What do you mean hidden? Are they invis? Or are they shadow dancing? Are you telling me he has a fucking AoE shadow dance for 1400? Not just fucking invis, but like actually hiding them? Okay, that's very strong. That's a very good shard. It's not super big AoE, but that's very strong. That's very, very strong. I mean, you can use that for yourself even. You don't have to use it for your allies, but you can use it for your allies. Yeah, that's very nasty. Very nasty. More agi, more lifesteal. Okay, base armor increased, intelligence increased. Damage increased on the little shredder. Mana cost is rescaled, a little bit cheaper on max level. A lot cheaper on lower levels. Armor reduction is increased as well. Shard stun duration is increased. Jump distance is decreased. Cooldown is reduced. Kind of nice buffs overall. I like the shard. Take aim active rework. No longer gives double attack for attack range for an attack. Now lasts 4 seconds and grants you true strike and plus 30% headshot chance. Causes you to move 30% slower. Cooldown up to 20 or down to 20. Mana cost 50. 30. Oh, shit, dude. Okay. Interesting. 4 seconds. 30% headshot increase. And true strike. Full true strike. Full true strike is really big. And 30% increased headshot chance is very good. Yes, you move very slowly. But sniper has long range. You could easily have 4 seconds here and there where you legit just stand still and shoot. So yeah, pretty good. Now knock sniper back 400 units away from target direction. Okay, so yeah, you can have the shard as well to just reposition yourself. Nice. Base armor is increased on Spectre. Damage increased on Desolate. Lower levels. And then cast range reduced on Spectral Dagger. Less cooldown on Shadow Step. Shard can now target any enemy hero that damaged you in the last 8 seconds. Can target the ground to find the closest valid target. Okay. Any hero. Wow. So you can pick your target. And it's in the last 8 seconds, not 5 seconds as it was before. And the shard mana cost is reduced to 1/3. Jesus, what a buff. That is a big buff. I mean, she could already find Tinker and Zeus, but if anyone else damaged them, then they couldn't pick the Tinker or Zeus anymore. And now you can actually jump to Tinker, even though you don't see him. Just the fact that you get hit by a rocket, okay, I know Tinker is around there, so I'm gonna click this in the Fog of War, where I think he is, and boom, I'm on him. Or, you know, I might be on someone else who damaged me, who happened to be in there in that area. But cast time is reduced. Okay, speed reduced. Sure. Health increased massively. Electric Rave Shard upgrade is now an active on Overload instead of a dedicated hotkey. Travel speed is rescaled, so he's faster on level 1, slower on level 3. Bounce talent is no longer applied to allies that have a shard, that have the shard buff. Only Storm Spirit benefits from it now. Bounce talent now causes the secondary attacks to 75% damage instead of 100%. Okay. Talents. More auto remnants, I guess. More HP talent on level 1. Or level 10. That means the Ruby can steal Overload. Shard now also reduces cooldown by 4 seconds. Shard Scepter cast range reduced. Okay. Damage increased. Attack speed, workout duration, more great cleave. A bit more AoE is kind of nice. Hammer stun duration is better, and more workout armor. Techie's movement speed is increased. Cast point is, or cast time is increased for the mines, or reduced, improved. Can no longer be placed in fountain areas. Oh no. Shard cast range reduced. Shard stun radius is increased. Stun duration is increased as well. And more damage and less mana. Oh, the best hero. What happened here? Mana cost is reduced on level 1. Okay, so we have cheaper meld. Damage is increased from 50. Okay, so we have stronger meld. And the cooldown is increased to be even higher cooldown on level 1. Dude, that level 1 meld is looking real sexy right now. 80 damage for 35 mana cost. Pretty good. Pretty good. Shard silence duration increased from 0.5 to 3. Min max to 1.5 to 3.5. Oh, shit. 1.5 second duration on a insta-pop? Fuck yeah, hit me up, bro. I can insta-silence for 1.5? That's good. And Shard also increases the vision from 400 to 525. Cast range reduced. Okay. Oh, that's gonna fuck with me so much. Scepter mana cost is reduced by 50. And Scepter cooldown... Oh, boy. Oh, boy. We're gonna go so fast, boys. You don't even know how fast we're gonna go. Oh, it's gonna be glorious. I'm gonna be jumping around. And Psyblade's range talent. Hello. Did I get a free Dragonlance? Okay, to be fair, 20 attack speed is pretty hard to pass up. So probably gonna have to take the attack speed. Yeah, I have to take the attack speed basically every single time here. Yep. Interesting. Interesting. Trap damage count is improved. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I already liked playing with the refractions. I get 2 more now. Holy shit. Yeah, come at me, bro. I'm behind 14 refraction charges. Whoa, wait, you killed them? Here's 14 more. Peace, nerd. Okay, nice. Just go through my 28 refraction charges, boys. I like it. Good changes. Good stuff. Base HP regen is increased on TB. Base damage increased on TB. Base armor is reduced on TB. Attack damage bonus is reduced and attack range is reduced as well. Illusion damage is increased on reflection. Slow is also weaker and getting stronger. Duration is always 5. So value point is pretty good. And mana cost is really low. Yeah, 1 value point reflection seems really good. And movement speed is better. Okay. Mana cost on Gush is just rescaled. Base armor increased by 1. More armor for him. Duration increased or reduced. Regen per stack is reduced. I mean, it's the same on max level though. Cast range reduced on the Timber Chain. Travel speed increased though. Shard no longer ignores ancients. Effects. What? Nani? He can flamethrower buildings? Okay, we can't just ignore the Timber Saw anymore, guys. We can't just ignore the Timber Saw. He can burn the buildings down. Oh god. Oh god, dude. Okay. Debuff rescaled. Scepter damage increased by 20. Pretty big. And he gets duration as well with talent now. Kind of nice for him. Shard stats resistance is better. Shard health is increased. And the duration is increased as well. So Tinker Shard is better. Scepter current health reduction is worse. Cast point is 0 on the rearm. Mana costs increased slightly. Channel time is actually a lot longer now. Huh. 125 on max level rearm. It's a bit slower. It's nice. No one cares about Tinker. Until you play against Tinker. I care about it. Mana cost is also reduced on the heat-seeking missiles. Mana cost to mana loss reduction talent is pretty big. Then you get +1 heat-seeking missile talents. Kind of fun changes though overall. I like them. Base HP regen increased. Reworked shard now causes tree grab to have no charge limit. Oh, okay. So you can just have it. More armor. Tree volley range reduced. Reduced. Cast range rescaled from 850 to 1300, 900, 1200. +5 tree grab charges to +15% tree grab unit damage bonus. We might see the carry tiny more come back with this. The permanent tree grab tiny just smacking shit might come back. Chardonna also grants invisibility near trees. Okay, so no invis talent or what? Mana cost reduction on the leech seed. And he no longer has invis, but he has more nature's grasp cooldown reduction. And he has better damage on it as well. Living armor bonus. Okay, and living armor now works on creeps. The AoE living armor on creeps. Good in mega creep situations, I guess. Whirling access mana cooldown, mana cost increased. Distance reduced. Reworked shard grants rampage. Globally causes all allied heroes to gain +70 attack speed or 25% status resistance for 5 seconds based on whichever stance troll is currently in. Oh, that's funny. Provides range provides attack speed and melee provides status resistance. Huh. Very interesting. Berserker's Rage, bonus armor rescaled, and movement speeds. Okay. Very, very funny, dude. No, I think it just changes based on which one you cast it in. I don't think you can toggle back and forth and keep giving attack speed or status resistance. Movement speed reduced. Okay. More HP, less agi. Tusk has less HP regen. Water's Punch now does the animation 40% faster. Yes, I want to get punched harder. Actually weaker, because less tag team damage. Less cast range on this, less cast range on that. Basically the story of the patch. Sigil. A little bit harder to kill, more vision. Sigil doesn't feel like something most people use anyway. More attack range on Underlord. Radius is rescaled on Firestorm. Shard no longer provides healing. Shard now also increases the Firestorm wave count by 3. Scepter now also increased the radius. Jesus, that's a big Uber. No longer reduces cooldown. Now causes it to have 2 charges. Oh god, he can jump in and jump out. Interesting. He has Firestorm radius talent, attack speed talent, and Firestorm building damage to 40% atrophy allied hero bonus. He can buff allies again. He can do it. More agi gain for the Undying. Mana cost is reduced. Now does double damage to creeps. Illusions no longer apply the debuff. Yeah, makes sense. Decay duration to armor. Cooldown. Sword damage to plus 12. Sure. Reworked Shard now causes Earth Shock to apply a 1.5 second enrage buff on yourself. Reduces cooldown by 2 seconds. Sounds pretty good. For Ursa, that is. More mana regen, less agi, and enrage status resistance. The damage is increased on Vengeful Spirit. Base movement speed is increased. Scepter Illusion movement speed is reduced. Wave of Terror, radius increased. Shard damage, steel reduced. Steals armor. What the fuck? She can steal armor? 10 agi talent instead of minus armor. Instead of agi, she has minus 2 minus armor. And minus cooldown on the swap. Okay. Venomancer, damage is increased. Poison Sting is reduced. Radius is increased on Poison Nova, and duration is increased on Poison Nova. Plague Ward to attack range to spell Lifesteal. Poison Sting is worse, and spell Lifesteal to Plague Ward's cooldown. 20 talent. Overall, nice buffs for Veno. Mana cost is reduced on this. Shard's armor reduction is also reduced. Shard now also causes it to affect buildings for 40% poison damage. Okay. Viper Strike mana cost is reduced. I'm fucking losing my voice over here, man. Poison attack affects buildings to 2 times corrosive skin slow and resistance. Yuck! And corrosive skin stats to 300 HP. Okay. Attack animation, base armor increase, mana cost decreased. Shard mana cost is reduced, heal is increased, gravity cooldown. That's kind of nice talent. Shard damage is increased, cast range reduced, more Astral Steps for Void Spirit now. Resonant Pulse, mana cost increased, cooldown increased. Okay, more Astral Steps, but also less. Shadow Ward Shard movement speeds or slow is reduced by a lot. Shard now also changes to be an AoE spell. Oh, you get that from the Shard now? Cast point is better. AoE is better on level 1, or worse on level 1, better now. Slow cap 100%. Okay. A slow per second is also rescaled. Oh, Jesus. Big upheaval buffs, actually. Yeah, upheaval is way better now. Way better. Cast range 2, chaotic offering. Oh, golden movement speed talent? Nice. Shadow Word cooldown is slightly worse. Upheaval DPS? Nani? Upheaval DPS? Shadow Word AoE to Shadow Word heal damage. Interesting. Pretty nice buffs for Warlock overall. No longer unlocks max movement speed. Now moves at haste speed always. Swarm armor reduction instead of damage talent. Swarm armor reduction is damage talent later on. Plus 3 hits to kill. And 2 Shikuchi charges. Okay. Nice nerfs, I would say. I would say overall Weaver is weaker now. Mana cost is reduced on Shackle Shot. Shard now also reduces the cooldown by 1.5. Kill threshold no longer scales based on the power shot channel. Nice. Scepter no longer unlocks max movement speed. Still provides plus 2 charges. Scepter now passively provides 30% evasion. Oh, so even when you don't wind run, you have evasion? Scepter now provides haste instead of increasing the speed from 60 to 100%. Provides haste. Base armor increased on Wyvern. Arctic Burn cooldown is reduced. Winter's Curse now ends if there are no enemies in the area for 2.5 seconds. Cooldown is reduced by 10 seconds. So this is to nerf the core Winter Wyvern, just solo killing people. So now you can't lock them down for, you know, massive duration and just kill them. Duration is increased overall. Curse radius is increased and attack speed is increased as well. Shard no longer increases Splinter Blast damage by plus 80. Shard now also reduces cooldown by 50 or by 5 seconds. Okay. More heal. And you have the Splinter Blast damage on a talent. Cure damage increased from 50 to 50, 60, 70, 80. You have HP talent. Maledict AoE is bigger. And more Voodoo Restoration. Wraith King... Wraith King has longer stun. Movement speed instead of strength. And then it gets strength later on. Yeah, that's pretty good. You want movement speed first, strength later. And Zeus. What the fuck? I just clicked on Zeus. Holy shit. Base armor increased by 1. Shard cooldown reduced from 14 to 11. And it gets movement speed talent, and then it gets HP talent, and then it gets 50% spell lifesteal. Excuse me? Jesus, that spell lifesteal. Holy shit. I mean, Zeus does a lot of damage. I don't know if people realize, but like, Zeus does a tremendous amount of damage. Did you mean to say 5% spell lifesteal? Are you sure about 50? Okay. Holy shit, dude.